Hello and welcome to Digital Fabrication Residency tutorial series. In this series of videos we're going to deal with slicing geometry up. In the first video tutorial we're going to deal with a very simple piece of geometry, slice it up and flip it and get a better results from the print than we would if we had just printed it normal where you would have undercuts or support material. Slicing is good for project enlargement, better quality output, and just general good design to figure out how a mounting plate would be able to inset into another piece of geometry or a motor mount or a switch. Needs slicing to get this done. This video will explain this by using Netfabb and Simplify 3D, but other videos following will deal with the marriage of software and hardware, not only focusing on 3D printing, but also CNC routing and laser cutting. Let's open up the project. So we're going to get the Mobius strip out. It also lets you import STL files. But before we start slicing, I just want to show you a couple settings or some preferences that are good to know where they're at. Unit of length is millimeters or inches. It's just right there. This is quite nice because sometimes in other programs they're, dug in or is hard to find sometimes. So for 3D printing, it's always millimeters, and for CNC routing and other processes, it can either be millimeters or inches. So that's there. Another thing that's quite nice is convert units. It's just, inevitably somehow something will be saved as inches or millimeters. So it's just a nice quick way of converting it from inches to millimeters. So we're going to click on this, and then here we're going to scale it first to the size that we want, and we're just going to make it 200 millimeters to go into the printer, the 3D printer. I like this because you can just really type it in versus some software packages, the scale factor, you have to kind of play with it to get it exactly where you want. So now we have it typed in, and you can't see it, so you're going to go up to here and say zoom to selected parts, and now you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to see it in as you have more parts that this will populate under the parts menu over here in the upper right. So next what we want to do is move the part or orient the part. So center to origin, and that just means that it's going to be in the center of X, Y, and Z, not to the side, the world axis center. So we have this, and now we're going to slice it. So here we're going to go to the Y axis. You can see it very faintly. There's a green line there. For the X, it's a little bit more visible, red. So we have that, and we're going to execute the cut, and it slices through that. We say OK, and it's going to give us, it's going to slice it and give us two parts in here, but it's going to give us a exclamation mark. That means that there's something really, it's not 3D printable. There's overlapping surfaces, or it's just something not manifold about the part. It's not watertight. Netfabb is quite nice for fixing it. So we can fix that geometry. So we can go up here to the red cross, repair, and then we say repair, say execute, and then after we execute it, we want to apply that repair to the part, and we want to remove the old part so we don't have doubles. As long as this isn't kind of, we want to keep this simplified, so we don't want two pieces of geometry when we only need one. So we click on the other one, and then we go back to the red cross, fix it, execute, and then apply repair, and then remove old part again. And now we have two clean pieces of geometry that we can work on. Now what we can do is come here and just save it as an STL file. So we're going to start with Mobius strip 1 and export STL, and we're going to sit there and export that one, and it's still saying there's something wrong with it, and it's going to fix it for you. So it says manifold edges. Do you want us to split, get rid of those splits? So we say yes, optimize, and then it's okay to print. And then we do it over here, and we do the same thing. So export part STL, and kick that out, optimize, and done. So it does a really quite nice job of cleaning it up. Before we go to the print software, Simplify 3D, I just want to show you one thing that's sometimes helpful and sometimes not helpful, but sometimes you want to align this flat face to another axis. So over here it says Align Parts, and you can click on it, and then it's going to register it either to the XY, YX, or the ZY. So, it's just a nice feature that it has. I'm mostly in the 3D software package oriented, so it doesn't, I don't use it that much, but it's just kind of nice to know that it is there. So let's go over to Simplify 3D, and we're going to import, and we're just going to do one of them instead of two. And again, it said that I should have switched it over from millimeters to inches. It read it in the wrong format, but it automatically changes the ratio from inches to centimeters for me. So it's quite nice. It's in the wrong orientation. So I can just go here and double click on it and make it correct. -90, say save, and then center and arrange. So as you bring in models, they populate here, and this is the process, or how this is what the settings are for it to print, what it's slicing it and the details on it. So it says, what kind of nozzle diameter, layer. It's just a really nice software because it makes it very simple at first, so you can just use fast, medium, or high, or you can really drill down and get very specific about your layer attributions, your additions, your infill. It's just very nice software, especially if something isn't working for one print and you really want to get in there. You can change the extruder temperature on different lines. You can also do the heating bed, different temperatures and different slices. So just kind of very robust. And at that point, I prepare to print, and it slices my model, and it's doing its work. And so this takes 7 hours and 6 minutes to do, but it just a very nice clean interface on the slices. You can see where there's if there is problems or not. Travel moves, retraction, tool head. So it's just a nice piece of software. So that is how to slice a piece of geometry very quickly in Netfabb and using Simplify 3D to get it done.